Hi, this is Kim, and welcome to your weekly messages from Expressions of the Universe. So last week I talked about how I would write myself a little list about what I wanted to talk about. The one thing that is happening tonight are the Geminid Meteor Showers, and I did post a little graphic on Facebook and on my blog at www.expressionsoftheuniverse.com. so that you could look for the constellation of Gemini. And anytime after 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, you can look to the east and you should see a really good show. The meteors are supposed to last for more than 2 seconds at a time, which is pretty long. It means that the fireballs are very large. And you can see these in both the northern and the southern hemispheres, which is really amazing. So everyone around the world can get to see these. And so the first thing I wanted to talk about is crow totem, the energy of crow. They've been up in these trees for the past couple of days. You'll notice that I am outside today. I'm in the Philadelphia suburbs of Pennsylvania, and it's 72 degrees right now, so I'm taking advantage of being able to be outside. And these crows, they've been hanging out for the past couple of days. They're very noisy, but today they were pretty calm, and I wanted to think about, well, what does crow mean to me? And with them hanging around, they're hanging around with each other, they're enjoying each other's company, and so with this being the holiday season, and crow or raven meaning magic, I feel that they're telling me that there's magic all around me, and because they're hanging out with ones that they are closest to and the ones that they love and feel most comfortable with, that's what I'm recommending that you do for the rest of the month. Be with the people that matter most to you. And of course, the cards are interesting, but they kind of go with that same energetic feeling. You know, don't do anything during these holidays that you really don't want to. We're so worn out as it is, and you'll see that in the messages from the cards. The first card that I chose, actually before I chose the angel card, I just reached into my bag with the animal totems and I did pull out the crow. And it's also about, in addition to magic and the family, it's about transformation and renewal. This is the time of year that we really need to kind of ground ourselves and pull in the energy and start to give back to ourselves and restore ourselves so that we can be bright shining stars in the new year. So of course, you know, I always pick an angel card, and this week it's about joy, which was really kind of funny because, you know, the holiday season, you see the word joy all over the place. One of my neighbors has a big lit up joy in their window, and I kept thinking about this all weekend long. And so I love that I picked this card, because what it's saying to me is you really have to try and find your joy in this season. And it is all about being joyous, and it's not about those material goods. I personally I don't like gifts. I don't like being given gifts. There isn't anything that I truly need except for somebody to come and fix my dishwasher. I thought that I was going to be able to fix it today with the advice of a friend, and I sucked out all this junk with this little made-up device that I attached to my shop vac, and it worked for about 5 seconds, but I will have to call a repairman this week. But if anybody's looking to give me a gift of repair, that would be great. But yeah, there really isn't anything that I truly want, and I can't stand when people give gifts just for the sake of giving a gift, or to make up for the fact that they haven't given you any of their personal time. I would rather have memories with people and experiences that I will always cherish over a store-bought gift. Of course, I always do like crystals, and I do love books and little things, and we do exchange some small gifts here It's not that I'm totally opposed to it, but there really isn't anything that I want or need. And if I need something, I usually go out and get it for myself. But back to the joy card, and this is really all about finding the joy in every little tiny thing that's happening around you, so that you can shine brightly. So, the crystal cards this week, I felt compelled to pull two. The first card that came up it's a fire card. It's action. It's carnelian. And you know I show you carnelian all of the time. I showed it to you last week. Here's my carnelian. I always keep this with me. Helps me stay in an action mode. Right before I started filming this, carnelian fell off the deck and I had to run downstairs and outside and look through red leaves to try and find this. But what this card is saying is, if you're tapping into your higher being and a higher source, the divine, whatever it is that you're calling it, don't just receive these messages. What you really need to do is put the information that you're getting into action. It's all about creating your reality, and you are the one that creates your reality. Don't expect other people to do it for you. And this card and this stone are saying now it's time for you to get to work and start creating the life that you want to live. And don't leave your life and your desires up to someone else. It's all up to you. But in combination, I chose a second card, and this is an earth card, and it's grounding. It is black tourmaline. You know I always wear my black tourmaline. And I have a pretty nice size chunk of black tourmaline. I have huge pieces of this all over my house. I grid my home with the black tourmaline and selenite at the entrances. I also keep black tourmaline where any of my electronics are because it helps absorb electromagnetic energies. But what this purification card is talking about is, you know, what I'm feeling is that you're still holding on to things from the past. You're still worrying about things that you cannot change. Sometimes it really takes you cleansing your aura, you know, salt bath, using black tourmaline to clear out all of the density that's within you so that you can put things into action. You may not be getting messages from spirit because you're worrying about things that you really have no control over. And you'll see that in one of my upcoming cards. But use black tourmaline to help ground yourself, help cleanse your aura, and of course I always recommend at least one weekly salt bath to help clear any dense energies away from you and help you start fresh. I do it every single week. Sometimes I take 3-4 a week depending on how many readings I'm doing for other people. So yeah, that's where I'm going with that. Now I'm only reading from the Colette Baron Reid's new Wisdom of the Oracle deck, and I'm keeping this short, and I feel that that's all we need this week. The first card that I drew, it's number 17, and that's the Fates. And that 1 and the 7, that equals an 8, and that is all about abundance. And I feel compelled to read Colette Baron Reid's exact message here. Essentially, this is a fate card. It's karma. It's about acceptance. And if you recall, last week my angel card was about acceptance. And I think understanding goes hand in hand with that. And I pulled that card several weeks in a row. You have to accept that there are things that you just cannot change, and knowing what those things are. This oracle's message is the Serenity Prayer sums it up. I'm going to read right from Colette Baron Reid's book. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. There are things in life that you will never have control over. The conditions brought on by the evolution of the collective, by nature, and your past experiences. They may all be fated, preordained by spirit, for a greater purpose you cannot understand in this lifetime. It may not be in your cards to understand why certain events have occurred, but you can accept the mystery and the work with what those events and the current circumstances have to teach you. This is the wisdom contained within this card and the Serenity Prayer. Now, when it comes to relationships, the fates are talking about other people in your life, and you can't change them. And it's your job to accept them exactly the way that they are. This is a time to take a look at how you attempt to mold people to the way that you want them to, and then being constantly disappointed because they're not doing what you want them to, or they're not acting on how you want them to. You really just have to accept people for who they are. We all have a hard time doing it. I sometimes do too, but for the most part I get it. Now, when it comes to your prosperity and your abundance, you may be having some problems financially right now, but what you have to do is accept that the situation is what it is for right at this moment, and it's not going to stay that way forever. If you know that things can constantly change and they can always turn around and go in a positive direction, if you hold on to that hope, things will change for you. And that's why I said, look at this card. It's number 17, and the 1 and the 7 together equal abundance and prosperity. So with these situations, what I recommend is when you're worrying about a certain situation, I always ask people, will all of this worry make a difference? Will it change the situation? And the answer is always no. So your best bet is to really let it go and just let it out, let it go to the universe, because something will turn around, will go positively in your life, and things will change. And there go the dogs. The next card that I chose, and it's card number 21, and it's Clean It Up, but it is in the protection position. And just because it is reversed, that's not a bad thing. It's about protection. And I do want to read right from Colette's meaning so that you can understand exactly how this is a protection message. It talks about focusing too much on other people right now and trying too hard to be helpful to other people. Sometimes people feel the way that they feel loved is to feel needed by other people. But really, you're kind of hindering you're hindering yourself by putting your nose into other people's business and trying to clean up other people's messes. What this card is saying is take a step back. Do not try to clean up other people's messes. Don't try and clean up the other side of the street, so to speak. This is a time for you to focus on you, cleaning up your own self, putting your energy into loving you and doing things for yourself. And what does Colette have to say? Pretty much that she's saying the same thing. You're not helping other people actually when you're trying to clean up their mess. People need to learn their lessons for themselves, and they need to clean up their own messes. You need to just worry about you right now and know that however things work out for someone else, that's on them. That's their problem. You don't have any control over it. And if you do have that incessant need to be needed, maybe you need to look within yourself and find out why you need to be needed so desperately. Then my last card, it's also in the protection position, and it is Deep Knowing. And it's card number 43, and the 4 and the 3 equals 7, and that means that you are on the right path. What this card is saying, and I love it because I've been feeling this energy all week. I've been exhausted. This is a time for you to really disconnect. You're putting out too much of your own energy at the sacrifice of your own self. So this card is highly recommending that you just focus on you. I recommend from now through the end of the year, even into the new year, this is a time for you to take back your energy, build your energy up, and self-nurture. Rest, relax, recuperate, and enjoy the holiday season. You do not have to do anything other than care for yourself. And that is what this card is talking about. When you care for yourself, you have so much to give back to other people because your resources are full and restored. If you're running on empty, you just really cannot be beneficial to other people, and that's the way I look at it. This card is also saying, me as a reader, I need to focus on keeping my energies within myself, keep myself grounded, and maybe I won't do any readings for this entire week so that I can just focus on myself, because it does take a lot of energy. Even when we do protect ourselves and we call in our gatekeepers and try and tap into their energy to use, for me anyway, to get these messages, we're still using our resources. And it's very difficult when I walk away from a day full of readings and then I need to go to bed for 3 days. Although I'm getting much better at protecting myself. So let's see, what else do I have going on? I guess that's about it. We are coming into the holiday week. We have Hanukkah ending right now, and so happy Hanukkah to all those that celebrate. I guess that's about it. That's all I have for you this week. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and also at my blog, www.expressionsoftheuniverse.com. And I guess that's it. So I'm going to go out and enjoy the rest of this beautiful weather, even though it is cloudy. It's 72 degrees, and it's the middle of December. I'm not even wearing a jacket. I have a tank top on. It's fabulous. I wish all of you a wonderful week, and I hope you take my advice and do some self-nurturing and do something joyous for yourself. Be happy, be loved. Blessings. Bye-bye.